And coming to you live from an old woman's house. Oh, no, we're not. I got that. Coming to you live from Kitty's basement apartment, where we apparently have a lot of stuff to throw away because he said he wants it clean. And he's tired of the clutter. And I haven't even turned the screen. There it is. It's Sports Allegedly.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode of Sports Allegedly on this December 11th, 2023. We're going to talk about a huge contract in baseball a little later. We've got a big vote tomorrow for the OKC Thunder. We'll talk about that in details and my very candid opinion on that vote. And then also we'll talk about the NFL. And the playoff race is shaping up to be very exciting. There's so many teams that are close together. We'll go over an array of many of the games yesterday and the closeness, and we'll recap you guys tonight as the NFL continues with 2 games now on Monday night. So this, us being your alternative choice for NFL dum-dums calling games, you could be listening to us, watching that game, and continue to have a wonderful, wonderful time. But hey, let's talk about the biggest news in our area right now is the Danny Stutzman returning again. Returning again for another year as linebacker of the Oklahoma Sooners. And I got the announcement this morning, had one of my OU bystanders text me, said, hey, have you heard? I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, you got to check this out. He's coming back. Initially had reports from some reporting agencies had said that he was looking into the NFL.
Shut up, Craig.
And I think that he was looking at the NFL, and I don't necessarily think that he got a bad grade, but his dad, I was reading some comments that his dad made that he just wasn't sure that he wanted to go. He had some unfinished business maybe. I don't know if that's really the right term to use, but maybe his heart just said, hey, maybe I'm thinking about college. Maybe I want to come back. This coincides with Billy Bowman's return as the safety that could have and could have went to the NFL also. Those two gets are going to probably – no, actually, they're going to be the biggest gets of every portal we can talk about for all these portal people that are getting all these big names and paying big money. Those two guys right there are more important than I think than any portal guy that we can get, except some O-line. I'm definitely needing some more O-line.
We're doing O-line. I know we're doing O-line.
Because we're losing quite a few to the draft.
We are losing. I saw that we're losing at least two starters.
I think four starters. When it all said and done, it'll be 4 starters. Because Savion Byrd initially started, and he's going to the portal.
Okay.
But the Everett kid played really well, so I just and the Green, also the Green kid.
Are you getting touched?
No. And so the Green kid also, as a freshman, played hell. So I'm not necessarily worried, but I think we need some more depth there. And obviously, we got one of the best defensive linemen recruiting class coming into the nation. Let me back up. We've got one of the best recruiting classes in the nation of defensive linemen coming in this year. Now
we've got one of the best recruiting classes coming.
Yes, well, 2 years in a row. And I think that the depth continues to see. But I'm telling you, the Stutzman and the Bowman get. It's going to be huge.
Why do you do
it's
that?
going to be huge for going into the
what my last name
to the
is.
SEC.
You still continue to say Stutzman.
So as far as other portal news, I saw the Dylan Riola guy that was one of the.
Hold on, let's go.
You still want to talk about
Dylan Gabriel?
Oh, okay, we talk about Dylan.
Dylan
yes.
Gabriel went to the Ducks. He's going to go play for Dan Lanning, and we're gonna see just how short his arm is.
That's your opinion, not mine.
Yeah. No, and you know, I thought he was going to go to. I think he was going to go follow Levy to Mississippi State.
There was a lot of rumors about that.
That was who went to Mississippi State. That was.
They got the kid. Well, gosh, what was it? I'll look that up actually as you keep yakking.
But yeah, he's going to go, and that offense is going to keep rolling like it has. I saw that. USC, they're still trying to find a quarterback. They're trying to get what's his nut.
So Van Buren committed, and then the Baylor transfer Shapen.
Oh yeah, Shapen.
Shapen from Baylor. That's
Shapen. No, I thought Shapen had committed first, and then Van Buren.
and the Van Buren is the young guy, and that was the guy that he's going to recruit. He's out of high school, and he'll be the lone quarterback. It looks like in that class for Mississippi State. So, like I said, one of our OU bystanders had a source in Mississippi, and he thought that Gabriel was going to go there, but in the end, in reality, I think Oregon has got more money. and not necessarily that it was money, but the opportunity to win a championship is much more set up for Oregon than Mississippi State. I mean, Mississippi State, let's not lie about it. It's a tough job. It's always going to be a tough job in the SEC. But it's not like he's coming into all this talent. So he's going to have a building job to do immediately. So
Mississippi State's one of the hardest jobs in the SEC, and just to get the program to constantly win, because you see those coaches that come in, first 2 seasons they'll do really good, and then they'll fall off, and then before they get a chance to rebuild that, they will they will end up getting fired or move on to another job.
Generally, how it goes. I mean, you generally, they'll sign you to a 4 or 5 year contract.
It's weird that it's one of those schools that don't have a lifer coach.
Who is is Dan Mullen still the all-time winningest coach there? I wonder.
Maybe.
I bet he's close, unless there's an older guy that I don't remember. All right, so as we talk about that, but the the Dylan Riola guy, I thought looked like he's committed to Nebraska. Has changed his mind from Georgia. He's the number 1 or 2 quarterback, depending on what agency you look at. I thought that was a huge get. If you remember, Matt Rule talking at the end of the season was talking, hey, you want a good quarterback, you're going to talk about $1 million to $2 million. That you're going to need in this kitty to get a quarterback that's going to be good, that you want to start competing.
I sent you that picture.
And we all know that defense, their offense was the problem.
I sent you that image showing that there are now lists of NIL value.
Yes.
Like you'll see a player in the portal, and then it has an NIL value next to it.
Now 247 has him committed to Nebraska, so it looks like there's no official yet. That was as of 2 hours ago. Steve Wiltfong said that 2 hours ago that it looks like he's moving towards Nebraska away from Georgia, which is surprising because we saw that Lincoln Riley's commit that was supposed to be the all-world Brock Vandegrift.
Yeah, Brock Vandegrift.
Decommitted from Georgia. Now, everyone remembers, and I've talked about this.
This kid just cannot find a home.
He had Oklahoma until he wanted to stay home, and home is Georgia. So Georgia says, hey, come here. So, I'm going to stay.
Is he going to go to Georgia Tech?
No, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, now that's how we got Caleb Williams. See, Caleb Williams was never coming to Oklahoma.
I understand.
Because of Vandegrift. Now Vandegrift has decided he has accepted the job, or not the job, he's accepted that's what it's like. I mean, it's like, did you sign on the dotted line this job? But no, he is going to Kentucky, which I thought was a huge get for them. Plus, he stayed in the SEC, which I found not ironic, but I thought he might get a little bit out of the SEC because you're going to have to play Georgia eventually, and that could be something that's going to be tough.
Does this count? Winning against Mississippi.
Was that 87? Is that what? Is that games?
This is back in the 39. Yeah.
Let's go our generation, or at least get into the 67.
Then you get.
Is it Dan Mullen?
It
yes.
is Dan Mullen, but Jackie Sherrill won more games.
He did. Longer. Okay, yes, he did. 152 games.
Jackie Sherrill coached longer.
Yes, and that dude was, I think, an old A&M guy, if I'm not mistaken, at one time too. Jackie Sherrill. I think he might have coached too. Yeah. And he also was Bear Bryant guy. Yeah.
Oh no, he's Alabama. He's from Duncan, Oklahoma.
I know.
That's how I know who Jackie Sherrill is.
No, he played for Bear Bryant, coached at A&M.
Yeah. I'm not arguing that.
That was.
I would say Jackie Sherrill's the winningest coach.
And Dan Mullen was right there.
And Dan Mullen's right behind him. Dan Mullen has fewer games, but he has a 600% win, and Jackie Sherrill has a 500%.
Well, I'm really surprised that Dan Mullen didn't take a job this year. I mean, he was kind of out there. Not that I would hire him. I think, not that let me back up. I wouldn't hire him because some of the rumors, and you'd have to definitely vet this, that when he was at Florida, he just wasn't big into recruiting. That wasn't his game,
I don't know what
and he wasn't a glad hander. And I'm telling you,
to Florida, it was weird.
These guys that are coaching now, these college coaches, are actually earning their money, and you're going to see a mass exodus. I think eventually, if they don't fix the Neal and the portal stuff, that everybody that's good is going to go to the NFL.
I do see it because we already got guys holding out. It's already said that Drake May, he's holding out. He's not going to play in the ball game.
No, it looks like he's going to go to the draft. Yeah,
he's going to the draft. I know there's other guys that are staying out. We've got the Orange Bowl controversy of Georgia and Florida State not wanting to play because they both got left out of the college football playoff. It's crazy, and what's going to happen is these kids who keep transferring, like the Kendall Slovis, like the JT Daniels. I'm sorry, guys. I've been a little sick.
It's a money thing. Obviously,
for JT Daniels and Kendall Slovis, I don't think it was money. I think it was they didn't like the systems they were in.
Finding the right fit then.
Finding their right. So you've got guys that are going to the portal to find the right fit, and you've got the superstar players that are setting behind and don't want to set behind, and they're going for the money. They're going to try to start. They're going to be the guy. That's why with Dylan Gabriel, he left because he knew that Jackson Arnold was coming in. And he still had that COVID year that he could transfer.
He could, and I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about that, and I don't know either one of them, so I haven't talked to.
Dylan Gabriel left to let Jackson Arnold be the man.
I know
that's what's going to happen.
Exactly, and I think that was an ultimate program.
But he knows that if he goes to the NFL right now with the heavy quarterback class, he is going to be 6th round or undrafted. Now, why he wasn't mentioned in the Heisman, even though he had some of the best numbers in the nation, that's beyond me. But he
two bad losses. In retrospect, we look at it, it was 2 bad losses.
But how many losses had the other guy? Jaden Daniels had 3 bad losses.
He did, but the numbers were so much better.
So the day that Jaden Daniels did all that 600 yards and all that, that was the day that Dylan Gabriel did like the 5 touchdowns and 600 yards or something. Like he had a great day too, and nobody was talking. The media wasn't talking about him and the great day that he had. They were talking about Jaden Daniels, even though Jaden Daniels lost to Florida State. Jaden Daniels lost to Alabama. Jaden Daniels lost to, was it Georgia? Who else did they lose to?
They lost to...
what was that third loss?
Let's see. Mississippi, I believe. Mississippi.
Was it Ole Miss?
Ole Miss, yes. They lost to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, Alabama, and Florida State.
Yeah, that's the 3 losses. Which aren't, I mean, they're not horribly bad losses.
No, well, the Florida State apparently was a horrible loss.
A horrible loss. They suck ass. No, it's not. They went undefeated.
I don't know. Did they make
Florida
it to the
State,
college football
They did
playoff?
not. They made it 5th.
Exactly. And you know why? Because they were on their 3rd string quarterback. It just goes to show why even try if your superstars are out. Why even try?
But they weren't. They
have a great defense.
They weren't on their 3rd string quarterback when they beat LSU, and LSU. If you look back,
they won a title with their 3rd string quarterback.
If you look historically, that LSU has always got a good defense. And on the defense is they had a. I'm sorry. Historically, with LSU, they have a good defense. This year, it was horrible. I mean, the defense.
I know.
I know.
I'm not taking anything away from Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman.
You want to talk about?
We can
segue
do that.
to that. Let's talk about the Heisman. Heisman was awarded this week on Saturday. I did not watch it because I had already predicted it.
I was
and it was an easy prediction. After
now, do you think that they gave it to him because of the media hype?
I really thought Bo Nix might have won it if he'd have beat Washington. I really do think that I would have loved to see the votes change then.
You're getting it for your superstar and your media hype. You're not getting it for your accomplishments and your wins.
Well, no, I think no.
Well, Ollie Gordon finished 4th.
He got it statistically. Ollie Gordon finished 7th. We've got Jaden Daniels finished number 1, Michael Penix number 2, Bo Nix 3, Marvin Harrison 3rd. Which now I want to let you know the gap between 1st and 2nd was fairly close. Total points was 2,000, and then and then Michael was 1,700. But then you had a huge drop off. The next one was 885 for Bo Nix. Marvin Harrison went over half below that to 352, and then everybody else. Jordan Travis finished 5th, Milroe 6th, Ollie Gordon 7th. The running back from Missouri, Schrader, finished 8th. Blake Corum from Michigan finished 9th, and J.J. McCartney finished 10th, which they could have took some votes with. But in reality, though, I think that the stats didn't. I think this was the time that stats helped a person
it really was.
More. Because if you looked at the stats,
he was the best overall in total offense.
If you looked at the stats compared to Burrow's winning year, I mean, there was more. I mean, obviously Burrow had more throwing, but when you had total touchdowns with Jaden Daniels running was unbelievable. And so the them knowing
he was
that
a leader in total offense. That's what it was. He was leader in total offense.
And it was stats won it.
That,
which it's a quarterback award. I mean, you look at the first three. I mean, it's quarterbacks. So
the running backs are the number 2 to win that award. For anybody else, it's almost impossible.
And I think though,
between receiver, you have to have superstar receiver. You have to have, Moss. You have to be Randy Moss to win that.
I think Penix in the end though. He won. Well, he won the West.
You got
obviously he won the West, and then he actually won the Midwest, which they consider upper Midwest, which would be it would be your Ohio, your Wisconsin, all that stuff. They're saying Midwest. Southwest would be everybody in the middle except the Dakotas, and Daniels won that. Daniels won the South big, won the Mid-Atlantic, they won the Northeast. So as you got farther away from Penix, the votes changed quite a bit, and they say that's normal, but Penix didn't. I'm not saying he deserved it, but I think that Daniels probably was the most talented and had one of the best seasons. So, what is the Heisman? Is it your MVP, or is it someone that just had the best damn season? Is it somebody that has the best season?
The MVP of the league.
Of the league, and that would have been Daniels, and I think they got it right. I don't think any. I mean,
like I said,
there's a lot of talk that they were like, "Oh wow, this is one of the worst guys." He had 3 losses, and I'm thinking,
where did he finish? He finished
not top 10.
I know,
but
he didn't have a bad season.
No, but I think that after the Texas game, Oklahoma regressed at times. And then,
but did he deserve to be out of the top 10?
I do, and I think because after the
2 losses,
after the Kansas loss,
like I said, Jaden Daniels 3 losses.
But it wasn't necessarily losses. I mean, statistically too, and he was hurt for one. Was it one game? Was it a full game he was out?
For Gabriel?
Yeah, am I just
Gabriel
dreaming?
played the whole.
Or was it just a half?
He was like a half.
Okay, it was a half. So, but no, I just think I think statistically in the losses, it didn't help. And but hey. I mean, I had him going to the Heisman as an invitee, and I was wrong because as the year went on, the offense didn't click. I mean, you think of the 2 games off the top of your head, it was obviously OSU. I think if they would have throttled them, and he would have had good statistics and threw up points. But I mean, some of those points, Jaden Daniels consistently, for the most part, had good offensive numbers, touchdowns. I mean, he was the caretaker of the LSU team that finished.
He was the whole team.
I think they were top 10, 12. The final poll.
Are you talking about the offense?
No, just overall the team, even with 3 losses. They were the highest 3-loss team for sure.
Yeah, they were the highest 3-loss team.
I could be wrong. Maybe they were a little further down.
No, they were. I believe they were the.
Because we were 12 or 13. So
we moved up. We moved up in that after.
They were right behind us, 13. Okay, there it is. So they were right behind us. All right. Quick update on the NFL going on right now. Green Bay's up 7. Oh, they just scored. It was fourth, or it was goal. The Giants just scored. So it was now 7-7. Start of the second quarter.
Are you kidding me?
Do
not let Saquon Barkley score.
Yeah, I noticed your fantasy was close on that one.
Oh, both of our teams. I talked to your son, and he was like, both of our fantasy teams are garbage. We're not into that.
Yeah, you were definitely scoring low. All right.
Our guys kept getting hurt.
Anything else big transfer wise? I mean, we've got some. I thought the Riolo was pretty big. Am I missing? Am I missing anything big that we were just talking about?
Are you constantly texting?
Dude, my phone is over there. Quit talking about that fucking phone. No one else can hear that but you.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
You can hear it. They can hear it. It's recorded.
No.
Right in the throat. Let me run over here real quick, because they have on this.
We did talk about Drake.
They do have a track.
We did talk about Drake May obviously leaving, which was obvious. We all know that.
Yeah, we all know.
Caleb Williams is not playing in the bowl game, but he hasn't announced if.
Oh, it's a game time decision.
Yeah, if he's is he?
That's what he said. Did you not hear?
Okay.
That was his stupid response to "Are you going to the NFL?"
So did we? And I wanted a couple of notes that I thought was interesting. Congratulations to Phil Holt.
Cam Ward. Washington State and Oregon State are both losing a huge amount of players because they're going to end up playing in the Mountain West.
Correct. I did want to give a shout out to Phil Holt, one of our coaches from this year. He's going to be the offensive lineman the offensive line coach at Colorado, and then obviously right after that secured the number one offensive line recruit, Jacob Seaton, is going to Colorado. So Colorado.
I want to give a shout out to Luke Anderson, who is
not retiring from Chelsea
not
football, is what I've heard.
I heard he might be going somewhere else.
All right, well, we'll get our high school scoopers on that. See where our local coaches are looking at going. So no,
yeah.
and I think that
Riley Leonard. What is in?
Has anybody announced? I mean, that's the whole deal. Is it's tough to being a portal guy. I give you credit because I watch these portal deals to figure out who's going where. Because you've got to be pulling your hair out right now, to do that. Let's move on from that. You want to talk a little bit about the upcoming bowl games for this week that are going to happen?
I don't know that we have any interesting.
There's a couple. Bowl games start December 16th.
Can you reach behind the OU picture and grab? There's a green notepad. It's the games that we're taking.
Oh, gotcha.
There's the ones that I found the most interesting. The top 5. So for us in our picks, I took Jacksonville State versus Louisiana, Miami of Ohio versus App State, New Mexico State versus Fresno State, UCLA versus Boise State, Cal versus Texas Tech. Those for this week, those to me were the most interesting.
I agree with that. Well, that's the two games I actually want to talk about was. The LA Bowl is December 16th at night on ABC, and that's
the
UCLA Boise State. That's going to be an interesting bowl game because I kind of want to see
new coach for Boise.
Kind of new coach.
I don't know. Well,
I mean, he was the interim, and then they got hired.
Right.
But I think that Dante Moore is transferring, and I don't know if he has made his decision. He was the freshman phenom quarterback for UCLA, and that kid. I mean, he was true freshman.
And UCLA lost their D coordinator to USC. Is he coaching the game?
I wouldn't think so. That's a one I did.
And then I saw where he took a lot of the assistants or something. Somebody took a bunch of assistants.
Ethan Garber's going to start for UCLA in that bowl game, and because, like I said, Dante Moore is transferring. So, wait a minute. Wait. That's not right. Scratch that.
Kenny misspoke.
No, I misspoke. That was bad. Now he is transferring, but I don't know. It looks like I thought Oregon is where he was going, but it didn't. But he was a 5-star guy, and after one season, he's leaving 6'3" quarterback. He had 1,611 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Like I said, was a rookie. So I haven't seen who's going to start for them yet. But no, I thought that was an interesting game because. It's two good bowl matchups, and it's actually, two teams that are going to match up in the bowl that you've actually heard of. New Mexico State and Fresno State coach Tedford is out on leave. Then you've got my coach of the year, Jerry Kill, at New Mexico State. That should be a good game because it's in New Mexico, so New Mexico's going to have the home field advantage there. But Fresno's not far, and then Ohio and Georgia and Georgia Southern.
Fresno might as well be a world away.
Yeah.
You say it's not far, but it might as well be a world away.
I guess you do got to go through Arizona first, don't you? See that? So it is a little bit of a trip.
So it's in the middle of California. Yeah. And so SoCal is like level with New Mexico.
That's a good point.
And Arizona.
That's a good point. Well,
and this is like, so what was it, like 6 to 8 hours to get to NorCal, and they're like right in the middle, so you got to drive down through like Nevada. I think is what it is. You come down through Nevada and you get there.
Probably.
It's a long way.
We get anything else in college though? Because I mean, right now is kind of the dead time for that. I did see that
Army beat Navy, and I love how they beat them. They had the ball there on the 2 and just walked out the back of the end zone. They already had the game. Did you watch the end of it?
I know I missed it. I heard it was really good.
It was. It really was. Oh, Trevor Etney. That's who.
NTN. Yes.
Yes. Etney.
Now that's.
Can we get him at Oklahoma?
No, that's the Indian from Jacksonville's brother.
That's what I'm saying. Can we get him?
No, I think the one that you want from Florida, if you go down a little bit, is the defensive lineman, and he's got a real kick-ass name too, and I can't remember what it was.
All this shit keeps putting.
He should be noticed.
Twitter garbage in my shit. Can I just get an article that doesn't have not full of Twitter and their stupid pictures? Real got committed to butt sex.
I don't even know why you said that. Scratch that from that. Sorry.
I'm tired. Look. all of this article is just all Twitter. They can't write an article anymore.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing that I did see, that Joe Gillespie was fired as TCU's defensive coordinator. Anybody in their right mind right now that's looking for a defensive coach, hire this guy. This guy done wonders at Joe Gillespie got fired, which is that second. Well, was his second year finishing his first year, yeah, he was at Tulsa. Yeah, he joined them in 2002 for the obviously.
Did Kevin Wilson retain him?
No, I mean he'd already left Tulsa. He left Tulsa. When what's his name was there, and now. But anyway, this guy's a hell of a coach. I mean, somebody picked this guy up. He should be having a job in like 2 seconds. See what he done with Tulsa. They went 5-7 this year. Allowed 27 points a game. I understand, but you got to think about it. That they lost a ton of players. You know, Sonny Dykes now. That's a scapegoat one. Get ready, because that guy's eventually done unless he turns it around. So, Phil Montgomery's who I was thinking that hired.
Because he took over what's-his-nuts' team and had Baby Riley with him.
Yeah, that's a disappointment to see that he was fired. I thought that guy was heading for some.
Isn't he hanging out in Texas right now?
Well, he is a Texas guy. I did see USC hired North Dakota State's coach to be an assistant.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Assistant, I don't know position. It's Matt East.
Offensive coordinator,
I did not see a position named yet. I don't think they had. Also, other hirings. Bronco Mendenhall got hired by New Mexico, which I thought was a good hire. And there was one other one that was just really interesting.
We changed Cason's name from.
Oh no! Now Jeff Grimes went to Kansas because their offensive coordinator Andy Staletsky.
Oh, who did?
But Manny Diaz was hired as Duke's head coach, and I promise you this: mark it down, slap a label on it. 3 years, that guy's gone. He's just not good head coach.
Greg Sark's not the coach.
So,
he's a fake.
Now, speaking of Texas, though, Jeff Choate did leave.
Who went to Penn State? I saw that they hired their new coordinator.
Andy Staletsky. He's the Kansas offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Yeah,
you were just rambling.
Yes. No,
I zoned out. I do other things.
Just giving that heads up. That was some of our local big. I thought that that Manny Diaz going. I laughed about that. Now, Jeff Choate, who was I think he was a co-defensive coordinator for Texas, left. He took the Nevada job. He'll be fired in 2 years also, because that's a horrible job. Or if he has one good year, get the hell out.
No, 2 years and 2 years. If you have 2 good years, then you move on. It's not a position that you stay at. It's a position that you move up from, or you get fired and go back to being a coordinator.
Correct. Well, and then Colin Klein did leave Kansas State. He's going to A&M. I thought that was a good pickup for them as far as local. Former defensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, Derek Mason, landed the Middle Tennessee job.
Is it Middle Tennessee State?
After Stockdale.
I want you to say the whole thing.
After Stockdale.
Middle Tennessee State.
After Stockdale was fired after many years there.
God, yes.
You watch some of these good coordinators, and if you're not like Jeff Levy, you can't blame the guy taking an SEC job. No doubt. I mean, even though it's the shittiest, second shittiest. Would you say that's the second? I think that's the second worst job. You think that's the second worst job in the SEC? What would be worse? I mean, obviously Vanderbilt's worse as far as football coaching.
Well,
it's just harder.
Vandy to build yourself up. It was Missouri for a while.
Not really, because Missouri's got some history.
It was.
No, that's not true, because Missouri, their first 2 years, went into the SEC title game when they started. That's bullshit.
It was.
Never. Don't even mention that.
Missouri's always been a horrible job.
No, they're not. Missouri. It's the only. Missouri is better than Arkansas, and those are both state schools that own that state.
Arkansas is a hard job to keep.
It is, but I mean, wouldn't you rather have Arkansas over Mississippi State? Okay, so
I'm saying Ole Miss is a terrible job to me.
No, but they're better because they are the school.
It's because it's in Mississippi. It's a terrible job.
No, I think
I'm dunking on Mississippi.
That's a better job. That's a better job than Arkansas.
That Tennessee job's always hard.
They've won a national championship. You can't really.
What I'm
talking what's the worst couple jobs? It's got to be Mississippi and Vanderbilt. I I mean, it has to be it. I can't think of another one. Am I missing one that's just so much worse?
I keep wanting to say Georgia Tech, but
that's ACC.
they're ex-SEC.
Yeah. ACC.
Oh yeah, Florida State. They might be looking at Georgia.
Anyway, that's our and there is rumors of Florida State and Florida State definitely right now is just pissed off at the world,
Yeah,
and so they're going to do whatever the fuck they can to do to get out of the ACC or screw them or whatever. And now rumor has it they wanted to get in the Big Ten, but I originally thought they wanted to get in the SEC.
It is more viable for them to get into the SEC because the media rights packages are bigger.
Well, I was
and I think that
I was more thinking about just
I think that the Big Ten is trying to persuade them to come there.
I was more thinking
pushing to get that.
I was more thinking just because of them being, they're not necessarily considered a academic school. Right. The Big Ten wants to frown on that.
Miami's a better Big Ten school. They got that we're better than you attitude.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but is Miami? They're still ACC.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they leave, they would be a better Big Ten. Clemson would be a better SEC school.
I don't know. I love it though. Coaching time. I mean, it's been good. You see all the assistants and the new hires. I mean, we're going to rank our hires for coaching probably.
Are we?
Yeah, we will after the. We're going to get into that about after bowl games.
That'd have to be.
And then between the NFL playoffs.
We have to do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it after. We'll have to do the bowl games. So that's
when they finalize. I know that they want coaches in now for recruiting. But a lot of
everything's got to get early, so it's got to be harder. But hey, you're earning your money. All right, you ready? Are you doing anything else college-wise? I mean, I'm sure I missed some big story, but I know that OU story broke today, and that was huge.
Okay, and you saw my comment for that was, oh, cool, he's a redneck. He gets in a Corvette.
Well, you know that story. What that was from was from the Vols. I thought the video was good. Now.
I would have rather gotten to the Boss's car. I wouldn't want to get in that shitty
Well, no, I
Corvette.
think now let's clear up that. I thought there were some rumors that this was all a stunt by Stutzman, and that had nothing to do with it. So anybody,
a Stutzman would never pull a stunt.
That didn't happen. That actually
I'm
video.
Lying. I'm not lying to you. A Stutzman would never pull a stupid stunt like that.
Well, no, I think that what it was is that the. What is the word?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I can say letters.
Is it the butt kiss? I wanted to make sure I had that right.
It was his butt kiss acceptance or his butt kiss my butt kiss award.
No, it was. They did the video for that.
Well, no, I got that, and I understand that because everything's now about how many pictures you take or what kind of videos you do.
No. But I think they've done that video for that.
I'm surprised you don't have videos for whenever you walk into the city meetings.
Hit the play music. So, but no. So I thought that when I was spitting that out is that video wasn't done just to hype himself up because he decided he was never going to the NFL. I think he really looked at it. He probably got a pretty good grade, but decided to come back. We started with that. But the video deal, I thought, was a genuine deal that they'd made, not for this announcement. It was for something else, but it fit for that announcement. It worked out good with him and the boss. So, and hey, I mean, you talk about a guy that is building his brand in Oklahoma. I mean, this guy's going to be one of the those people that, you think about OU players that you're just never going to forget.
When you think about Oklahoma, you think about Stutzman.
All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit. Let's move on to the NFL.
All right, I want to congratulate the one person that took the Chicago Bears this week.
Was that you?
It was this girl.
That's because it's your favorite team.
No, it's I took it. I just had that feeling. Honestly, I looked at it and I was like, God, Detroit's going to kill him.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple. Yeah.
Chicago.
No, I thought about that too because
this weird feeling, and I should have like I said, I should have taken Buffalo because I knew that game was going to be. That weird rivalry. It's been a weird week. NFL has been really weird this week. We had a Minnesota Las Vegas for 3 points. And I'm watching this game. I'm watching the GameCast. I'm going, what in the hell's going on with this game?
Let's talk a little bit about the Bears. Let's
Patriots beating the Steelers.
No, let's pull it. Let's talk about the Bears and Lions. You started with it. That was your big. It was your big win, and I thought,
look, you got 20 points out of Gibbs.
I'm talking about Goff. Goff tends to struggle in cold games. And the spread at right before the game, the day before I looked at it, was only 3 points.
Yeah.
So you think about them going to Chicago, and you wouldn't think, the Bears, that 4-8 coming in. You got the Lions 9-3, making an easy runaway with the NFC North, and you're thinking, the offense has clicked for the most part all year.
And they were at capacity.
And
for
so
a shitty Chicago Bears team, that game was at capacity.
And I thought that really is that a game you look at and you think, okay, can they beat? I mean, what's a cold? But there's not. Can they beat Philly when it's cold?
Didn't Detroit beat
in the playoffs? Is what I'm thinking.
No, Green Bay in Lambeau.
Yeah, but that was unusually warm for that game. There wasn't any cold. It was very windy during this game. So I think that when you get down to it, I mean, Goff was 20 of 35. He threw 2 interceptions, and he just had one of those horrible games. And I thought the defense for the Lions, didn't go as well as what they should have did too.
The offense for the Lions did not go at all.
What Fields done is he passed for, flip that down a little bit, passed for the 223, no turnovers, and that I know of, unless he fumbled. I didn't see that. He hit that, but he did rush for that 58 yards.
I don't think
so I wanted to talk. He might not have. I don't know if they had any turnovers.
I think we recovered it.
So when you talk about it,
Jalen Johnson fumbled.
Okay, so
and our middle linebacker recovered it.
Okay, when you talk about that, and another thing, can I go back down a little bit and bitch? I want to give credit to Chicago, but I want to bitch about the
Montgomery again.
Yeah, I mean So it had the same amount of yards, and I'll give them that, and Gibbs is 11 and 10 and 66 yards.
Montgomery did it with one less carry.
Yeah, I guess. And anyway, but I'd be interested to see what was his long.
36 and 13.
Okay,
right there.
Okay. So they did feed him a little more. They did give Gibbs more because earlier in the game it wasn't. But no, I think that the passing was horrible for
I don't understand
for Goff.
why my tight end was running.
Hey, but give credit to the Bears. I want to talk about one thing, and there was a hypothetical I saw today. Is we've talked about this.
Oh, they're not taking a quarterback.
The Bears have the number one pick
Marvin
still.
Harrison Jr. if he goes.
Yeah.
And taking the offensive lineman out of Penn State. Is that what it was?
Yeah, possible. So that would be their pick.
That was the mock draft that I looked at.
So you're taking Carolina's pick. So.
Taking Harrison Jr.
And let me tell you, whoever the GM of the Bears are, again, because I've said it in previous episodes,
is or will be.
Whoever it is, trade that number one pick.
Oh, and they're talking about doing that because they know that the Giants
look how well it worked out when they traded it last year.
Right.
And all you got to do is trade it again.
And what's great about this draft is you can pick up a quarterback a good quarterback in the second round.
It's a now it's a heavy quarterback.
Even in the third round.
It's a heavy quarterback draft. Now I'm not saying there's a lot of great ones, but I mean
there's a lot of smart quarterbacks.
Bailey Zappi, and if you remember in podcast from last year that I told you that guy was going to do pretty well. He won for the Patriots, and they picked him up 6th, 7th round.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, I wanted to pat myself on the back there because
you and I were the only ones that took New England over Pittsburgh.
We did, yes, we sure did. Well, and Kenny Pickett, and we knew wasn't playing, and Mitch Trubisky sucks, and so, and that's another.
He always Trubisky's himself out,
and that's a quarterback that is always going to. We just knew that wasn't going to happen. So, but I thought give Bears a credit. Let's talk about
Justin Fields playing intelligently, and you always said that the offensive line is crap. And I kept saying
could be better.
You
get 6 or 7 picks, you could really improve that offensive line.
But it's not horrible.
Give us an
like
update.
I said, the metrics in the early in the season where it was Justin Fields not doing what he's supposed to, not looking
making
at his
mistakes,
reads.
throwing.
He was making the mistakes.
And then it was obviously read one, maybe two, and then you're out of the pocket.
Right.
But you're getting run over.
He's looking over here. He's got a guy wide open over here, but he's never looking back to his right.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another thing. I think that the Lions, they don't, when they're bad on offense, they seem to just be bad on defense too. It's like they follow each other. They don't make complementary team. It's just they're one way or the other.
And Eberflus is calling the defense now, and the defense has gotten statistically better.
Definitely enough Bears talk right now. But hey, I'm just
No,
saying,
more Bears.
trade
That first pick.
Trade
Yeah,
that
trade
first
the first
pick.
pick. Fuck it.
Get what you
We don't
can.
need anything.
And what you do is you trade it if the
We can trade it to Craig
hey, listen,
Sampson.
no, if the goodies are right for the trade, you take the worst team right now, and then you let them pick, and then you potentially your picks are going to be better.
You could probably trade the top 2 spots. Trade that first one and then trade the next one. Because I think the Giants are going to finish number 2.
Currently, the Patriots are still number 2, even after the win. That's what I heard, or what I read.
You can trade with the Patriots too. You just keep trading.
They're not going to trade up 1. I don't think. I don't think they're going to give the house for that. Even though they definitely need a quarterback. I think
Belichick want to keep his job.
I think the Mac
he wants that. He wants that. Caleb
I think the Mac Jones. You know that. But hey, that team's got one of the best defenses. So I mean, he's not like he's an idiot. It's just you need to bring a general manager in there and say, hey, I'll pick the offense, Bill. You can help me with the defense picks and give me your reasons. So anyway,
because they got really good receivers. They've got really good. They've got really good tight ends.
I want to talk about the NFC. Yeah, the Henry kid from Arkansas for the Patriots.
Henry, yeah.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the NFC South real quick.
I know that you're pointing to what we all picked.
It is now a 3-way tie for first at 6 and 7. No, just kidding. We're not going to move on from that. Let's talk about before we go into the Cowboys, because that is the game.
I picked Dallas.
That is. I did not.
I picked Dallas. I picked against my defense, but my defense did score, so they got 11 points on me.
Well, no. So get pull up that show. Well, actually, give us an update on the games right now.
Hold on. Packers Giants. 5 minutes left. It is still 7-7, and it looks like their wide receiver is their best running. Oh no, they've changed that now. It's back to Dillon. A.J. Dillon. Jordan Love, 96 yards. Doesn't look like he is having a balling game like he used to do.
Well, 9-12 is not bad.
Here's the surprise.
It is a surprise.
Tennessee Titans and Miami Dolphins 7-7. Now, generally, the Dolphins slaughter a team below 500.
They do, and the one thing that that I thought about when I was reading today is the Titans, generally have a good defense.
They do.
And so, anytime that the Dolphins tend to play a pretty good defense, the game plan at Mike McDaniels. I mean, Mike. Yeah, he is a bad coach. He is a bad coach. That guy. But no,
everybody change your names.
All right, let's move on to the Dallas game.
I need guys like Bucky and Buffalo.
Pull up, Sean. Pull up the stats on that game. So it was one of the.
You want to talk about this Buccaneers 4-point win over the Falcons?
It was a good win for the Bucs. I mean, and Baker Mayfield continues to play as you play well as you continue to pull up to that. So.
Brock Purdy. I passed Brock Purdy. We'll talk about that.
Let's talk about the Cowboys.
All right. I had a bad feeling about this game going in, and that's why I did not pick Philadelphia.
I picked Philly because Dallas can never beat Philadelphia, apparently.
But it's in Dallas, and
they generally maybe split. Yeah.
And Philly is Philly's been a weird team, especially having them in fantasy. I can tell you right now that they are a very odd team.
Who's that?
Philadelphia. Watching their last 3 games, even watching the last 4 games, they're starting to stall.
Well, I mean, Jalen Hurts had a QBR rating of 38.
I'm aware. No touchdowns. No rush.
I don't know what. Well, he was 18 of 27, 197 yards, which is not a bad average.
He only ran for 30 yards.
Yeah. And so then and A.J. Brown had a good game.
You still have Rico on your team?
I did, but I didn't play him. And Dak Prescott, he was 24-39, 271, 6 average, 2 touchdowns. But the key for Dak Prescott, the key stat line, if you ever want to watch, it's like watching Josh Allen and Dak Prescott. What's that interception total? And it was 0. And that's key for him. That was 0.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up the Chris Collinsworth happy feet. You know, where are your feet when the West Coast offense? Now that he's running the West Coast offense, he needs to know where his feet are. Mike McCarthy needs to know where his feet are.
I don't listen. I don't really listen to a lot of the commentary on that.
Who is It's like, shut the fuck up, Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, he talks a lot.
You are so just what a...
But he used to be one of my faves, and now he's
was.
just gotten super chatty and super, like, kiss ass with people. I mean,
very,
he really kiss ass with certain players.
He loves him.
But no, I mean, so I wanted to bring up the funniest thing, one of the funniest things I saw, and it reminded... I know he sent that to the group, Zach did, that he sent the David Carr deal last week that said, hey, it's time to bench Jalen Hurts and put in Mariota. And then I got this, well, who does that sound like? And I was like, I'm not shitting on Hurts right now, but there is some injuries. I think the defensive secondary and the linebacker core for Philadelphia is weak. I think that is something that's going to be challenged.
Even
I mean, you look at
picked up, guys.
It doesn't matter. You look at the last two games between the first and the third place team in the NFC.
Like I said, go back to the third.
They both annihilated the Eagles. They annihilated them. The 49ers and the Cowboys annihilated them. I mean, that's 20 points for the Cowboys, and I don't even remember what the 49ers scored. Maybe they beat them by 40. I mean, it was bad, or maybe 30. But it's a bad look for the Eagles. Now, I'm not blaming that on Hurts, but you turn around and lose by 20, and then and I gotta love it. David Carr comes back out and he said, "Hey, Philly, you want to talk about it now?" You know. So, 42-19, so that's 23 points.
Like I said, look, if they beat the Bills, they only beat the Bills by 3. Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs by 3. 4. Yeah. They beat the Cowboys previously.
But
5.
But hey, that's a good run.
They beat the Commanders by...
Yeah.
I can't math.
Well,
7.
Hey, I can promise you this, mark it down, slap a label, it will not be a repeat Super Bowl this year.
No, it won't be. And look, the last time they blew anybody out was that Dolphins win.
And I have a secret NFL AFC contender we'll talk about, who I'm leaning to pick for my Super Bowl AFC, and we'll talk about that after we talk about the Chiefs game.
Steelers?
But no, I think hey, it was a good win for it. That was one of the best wins for Dallas. Now,
that was one of the best wins for Dan Quinn.
Well, not only that, I think that
Dan Quinn's defense.
No, I was thinking more about Dak in that game that didn't make mistakes, played well, but you look at Mike McCartney's offense compared to what the shit offense they had before with Kellen Moore, and I think that you look at that and it's much more improved. It's much more, I think, maybe simplified.
Hey, guess who's suffering on offense right now?
Exactly. And then what they score last week, 6 points. And I don't know what they, Herbert's out. He's broken a finger. So I mean, that Thursday night game's going to have 2 quarterbacks we've never heard of.
Oh my God! Hold on. No, it was Easton Stick.
Yeah, Stick versus they're playing.
He's from like South Dakota
and
State.
There's a prime game on this Thursday that's got 2 backup quarterbacks.
Where is that game? Chargers, 24-7.
Yeah. Hey, and give credit to the Broncos. I mean, I don't want to talk about them much, but they have played well, and they've done well. So 49ers took care of business against the Seahawks. It wasn't a big win, but I thought they took care of business.
Very surprising watching the early parts of that game. Drew Lock came out firing. Like you would think that was the Drew Lock from.
Missouri.
I was going to say Washington for some reason. Who was at Washington?
Browning. We'll talk about him.
But you would think that was the Drew Lock from college. Yeah. The way that he came out and ran the offense in the first half. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Brock Purdy and Kittle and the defense are like, sorry guys, we got this.
Well, yeah, because I mean it was 10
10-7
at half. Or no, I'm sorry. It was 10-7 after the first quarter.
Right, and then it was only 14-10.
It's like the 49ers just like run over them, but I think that was kind of coming off, some big wins.
Pete Carroll, but damn that asshole.
Coach,
stick some players.
He's a hell of a coach. He's probably never going to get the credit he did, as he will in the college ranks, as he is going to that he is.
No, he did. He's not going to get the credit now that Russell Wilson's gone. The Legion of Boom has been dismantled.
But
he's not going to get that credit.
No, and that was a big difference, and I think that's what that you look at Russell Wilson, that he fed off that. But hell, do you talk about? I'm not talking about the going back to the Broncos as being as far as an offensive machine. It's the defense that's played well all year, and they're continuing to play well.
Russell Wilson has had maybe 2 bad games. Like his early stats, the defense
no, but I think
was letting him down, and he had the same stats as Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, and I think that you've got. I think Anthony Lynn back? Is he their defensive coordinator, I believe?
Vance Joseph.
Or Vance Joseph. That's Vance Joseph. Yes, yes.
He fixed that.
Yes.
Anthony Lynn was a Charger. Head coach.
He was at the Chargers. Where's he at now? Look at that.
Let's find out where Anthony Lynn is.
Yes. You doing that? I'll look at Vance Joseph. Because it is Vance Joseph at the Broncos.
Yeah, he used to be head coach of the Broncos.
He did. Interesting to come back. No. So I think that
Sean Penn asked him back.
So I think so. Well, if you'll pull up the playoffs.
The playoff scenarios.
Well, yeah. After we
Let me find out where he's at right now.
Is he at?
Hold on, this is us.
Let's see.
Let's see. Get out here and find out.
Oh, he's at
Niners.
okay. He's back at the. He's back.
He's assistant head coaching with the Niners.
So he was who is the defensive coordinator who I'm thinking of? Was he offense the whole time? Okay, I was wrong there. It was Vance Joseph. You nailed it. That's who's at Denver and doing a hell of a job. And I believe Vance Joseph was. Vance Joseph was also defensive coordinator of Arizona, and that was a big loss for them when he left. So all right, there's only one game.
Well, do we need to talk about this Bills Chiefs? Do we need
that
to talk
is
about
the
that
game.
Stupid?
Is there any other game to talk about?
I guess not. I mean, we can talk about Ravens-Rams going into
overtime. No.
What happened to that Ravens defense?
Yeah. Surprising, the Rams have come around and have played really well. Ravens are an odd team.
Everybody's healthy now. They can play.
That's true. 6-7. I still think they're
in the hunt.
They are tied for second or third, maybe.
Seahawks.
And the Cards are still last. So this group looks pretty good right here. This group doesn't look so good right here. So anyway. So all right, let's talk about the game. Now we have talked about this, and I know this for a fact because I keep more attention now. Like I said, first year I've ever played fantasy, so I pay way more attention to teams than I didn't.
Individuals, you pay more
individuals on teams though, but I'm watching those teams, and I had my first two picks were Chiefs picks, and
you took Mahomes and
Kelsey.
Yes, Kelsey's got the Taylor Swift curse.
And so, but I've watched them, and we joked that is it the Bieniemy curse? I mean, is that why they're not doing so well? I don't think so.
The Bieniemy curse is why their wide receivers are so shit.
No, I just think I think they have. It's what we talked about. Is you start to sign these high-dollar quarterbacks, and then you start to lose the players around them. The defense.
You start to sign high-dollar players.
Now hold on.
You lose other players around.
Well, no, but the defense still has some paid players.
Well,
and the defense is pretty good. I mean, they held the Bills to 20 points. Now, can you pull up the stats on that game? Because I kind of wanted to see. I know Josh Allen threw one pick, but is that all he threw? Because I want to see his turnovers. Because generally,
there was a.
I was going to say I don't know if he ran.
Latavius Murray had.
Okay, so he only threw one pick, which is
Rasheed Rice had a fumble,
which is general for him, because he's always going to. But no, I thought. The Chiefs have not been the same all year that they have. I mean, they started out okay, but then as they played the tougher teams...
Wide receivers have been the major issue.
They're trash. The wide receivers are trash.
Okay, calm down.
Trash.
I'm just saying.
So
the enemy leaves, and all of a sudden they're wide receivers...
But no, so what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and try to mask it with Kelsey, who now everyone has figured out this offense that they're just going to keep covering him. I mean, Kelsey had 6 receptions. So, now 83 yards, that's nice. But
you got a 50-50 chance that Mahomes is going to throw it in a guy's cleats.
But then they had a really subpar offensive line. You remember the year that they played the Tampa and Tom Brady and Tampa rolled over them in that Super Bowl. The offensive line had some injuries and they were weak
because they weren't ready for any of it.
And I think that they're going back that way too because they're just getting these fill-ins. What you have to do, people, is when you're finding these teams like the 49ers, you're finding these teams like. The Eagles right now, the Eagles are going to eventually slide into that Kansas City when they start because the new big contracts are kicking in.
You many big players on there that you can't afford to pay them all.
You get them young, and I think that and for those contracts, but you have got to address the wide receiver room. If you're a Chiefs fan, you know this. I mean, you've watched them every day. Now it's not all Mahomes' fault because there's been more drops. I mean, there's a ton of drops when it comes to that.
You can leave a guy wide open and they'll probably drop it.
Yeah, more drops than a Tom.
What we're going to talk about
is that too much? No.
What we're going to talk about is Tony being offside. He lined up in the neutral zone, which is you have to look at the line judge and you have to say, hey, where do I need to be? And they will tell you to go forward or backward.
Now,
as the wide receiver that's supposed to be on the line.
Allegedly, there's a video out there right now that sees him. I haven't watched it. I caught that there was some verbiage and I haven't pulled it up. But the offensive line, if you looked at that, they were playing a little back off the line too.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. That's how
obviously pass.
That's how they do.
Yeah.
That's how they are. And then the very next play, the fact that Von Miller had an entire arm and helmet over and was not called for defensive offsides, which they generally call those.
Generally.
So why the discrepancy? Why did the line judge see him and not see the other?
We bitched about the refs all season. The inconsistencies.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes didn't need to go crying over the sideline.
I was disappointed in him. Really. I thought that was, even going up to.
I was disappointed in Andy Reid.
I was even going up to Josh Allen, and he was, rather than congratulate the guy that you beat most of the fucking time, and he just won.
Right.
You're bitching about a play call. It's like, hey, good job, buddy. Come on, let's have some sportsmanship. And then even in the press conference,
you want to talk sportsmanship? Don't you remember when Tom Brady used to ghost guys?
Then even in the
Tom Brady.
Even in the press conference or after the game conference, he whined about it there too. Well, it was maybe didn't call it. Why would you call it? It's a penalty, but they never call it on a penalty. I'm like, well, you're admitting it's a penalty, but you're saying that you shouldn't have called it. Yes, I know that, but it's the same saying as.
Wasn't that the same?
Is the offensive line or is the wide receivers getting better advantage in offensive line?
Was it that game or was it the Dallas game that they picked up a holding call on the touchdown?
Oh, I don't know.
And it's clearly there's.
I can only remember so much.
There's a hold and there's a jersey pull.
Are you talking about the Chiefs? Was the Chiefs involved in this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember if it was that game or the Dallas game.
Yeah, but you think about calls that have went in the Chiefs' favor. It's probably more than against.
Years.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Generally more than against. So I just thought it was tacky to come out that way. I know there's frustration building, and that's why I said right now is that it's definitely not going to be a repeat.
I could go
It's definitely not going to be a repeat of last year's Super Bowl, Eagles and Chiefs. And I'm kind of leaning that we might not see either one even in the Super Bowl. The way they're playing.
At this point in the AFC, I don't know who's going to.
I got it. You want my pick? You know who I think is actually.
You say Cincinnati, I'll throat chop you.
No, but I want to give. Hey, before I say my pick, Jake Browning. What a hell of a game.
Oh yeah.
That guy has turned it up.
Who knew that was going to happen?
We'll go back to go over to that game, Sean.
Oh, everybody but Zach who picked Jackson.
And I thought that guy. Former Washington guy, Husky guy, that's excelling now in the NFL. And they didn't.
Okay,
and they didn't think. So there's
Hunter was in Indianapolis.
They're 7-6, and excuse me. When you get done with that, are you going to pull up the playoff scenario? Have you got that pulled up?
Oh, the playoff scenario?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
I could do it. No, you wanted this, so.
No, I wanted to see his stats. 18-24, 275, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. But his QBR was 71, and his quarterback rating was 122. He was 122. So, you look, this guy is coming in as a backup, not making mistakes. This guy is playing for a job next year as a starter. Now, if you don't think that if the Bears wanted to get rid of Fields and they brought in Browning or somebody like, those are the things that you could bring in a much cheaper and not pay these high quarterbacks and bring in the talent around you that guy could be a winner. So, as we talk about the playoffs that are upcoming, right now, Baltimore's a 1 seed. Dolphins are in a tight game right now, 7-7 was with the Tennessee Titans. You got Chiefs at 8-5, Jacksonville 8-5, Cleveland 8-5. So that's 3-4-5. And then you've got the Steelers sitting there at 6, Colts at 7. So the Colts are still in it. Obviously, they're behind Jacksonville, who's 8-5, and the Steelers are right behind the Browns, which give credit to the Browns that they have, even after Deshaun Watson, who we all know is a piece of shit, and we've all said that on this podcast, and most people out there would agree, and they overpaid, and they just give Houston, the golden egg like 3 times over for that pick. But you talk about they've still maintained with, why am I not thinking of Joe Flacco? Look at Joe Flacco coming in, and you think about Joe Flacco, I believe at one time, and I could be wrong here, that Joe Flacco was on another team at the beginning of the year, and I think it might not be Pittsburgh. It wasn't Pittsburgh. There was a team that he had actually. Let me see. I'm going to look up Joe Flacco real quick because he was actually on a team in the beginning of the year after he got cut and then went to the Browns. But what a pickup by the Browns to get him there. And what he's doing right now is it's the Jets. It's the Jets. Now you realize Joe Flacco was on the Jets last year, and whether he cut, left, whatever. But I mean that's a huge get for them, and the Browns won again. Now obviously they play on their defense. The Browns is they're named for their defense, and that's what they're playing on right now. Oh, we got some Christmas cakes right there. Look at there. Thanks. It's the most one of these things right here you can't find anywhere. I'm just letting you know. But anyway, so
we should sell. We should
some auction, yeah. So, but no, and then you look at the Steelers. Kenny Pickett's out. I thought that it was just a horrible loss for them. I don't think the Colts have it in them too. Even though I give credit, the Colts have one of the best offensive lines, and they built there. And Minshew's doing really well.
Yeah. All season.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. Joe Flacco coming back to the Browns. No, and good. I mean,
so Flacco comes back for the Browns, and they waive P.J. Walker. They keep Dorian Thomas and Robinson.
Doesn't matter. He's a better future than that. But Flacco, that's what I was talking about. He's coming in, and that guy looks like he hadn't missed a beat. He's playing well, not making mistakes.
I don't know if the Browns make it out of that division.
Oh, I think they do. I mean, now obviously Cincinnati.
They
go to the expanded, Sean. Go to the expanded playoff because I want right over there because I want to see how far down or the deal. So you've got Pittsburgh and Cincinnati setting at 7-6. Hey, and Browning's still there. The Jets and the Patriots.
AFC North is still wide open. Now the only teams that have been eliminated are the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers.
Isn't that nuts? And we're in week.
Arizona Cardinals still haven't been eliminated, and they're set at 3-10.
They will. Their elimination is.
No, their next elimination will be
yes,
the next game.
Yes, exactly.
And now we also look at the NFC South. The NFC South is all tied except Carolina.
You're gonna get one in there, and you're gonna get one in for obviously, and then go back down to the NFC. No, I don't. I want to go to the NFC. No, I want the expanded NFC. I know. Yeah, it is. It shows all the teams. This is what expanded NFC.
You know what? Hold on. Watch this. I can do this. And it shows all the teams.
That's fine. We can do that too. But I want to go to the NFC. We're still on the AFC. Got my producer over here. He's just running shit left and right. Okay.
You know what?
So,
I've got a mouthy asshole over here.
So you got
just talks.
So hold on. So you got 7 teams going in.
New York and Washington.
You got 7 teams in. You got Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, winner of the South, and the 49ers. So that's 4. So now you got to start taking the 3. You got the Vikings close with the Packers, depending on if they win tonight against the Giants, which they should. The Bears are still in it 1 game behind, and then you've got the Rams and Seahawks. They're really close to get in that too. So it's an interesting bit when you get into that. But I want to go.
Oh, the update on the game: Tyreek Hill went out with a hip injury. He's questionable to come back.
Well, that's the one thing that'll hurt that team the most, and hurt his MVP, which I think he should be the MVP if he hits 2,000. I really do. Who else you gonna name?
Brock Purdy.
No, he's not there yet, but he's gonna finish top 3. Yeah. But then you've got Vikings, Packers.
Okay, so
Rams
Lions,
and Seahawks.
Lions,
That's
Vikings,
it.
Packers are all still. Well, okay, so the Lions, we can go ahead and say they've won the division.
Yeah, I've already said that. Yes. You've got the top 4.
But okay, so between the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bears, that's still 2 games.
Correct.
So.
And then you've got the Rams and Seahawks down below, and that's it.
Right, but the Rams and Seahawks are at 6 and 7.
Well, I know, but I'm saying they're still in it. You've got some shit teams coming in the NFC. I mean, I think the NFC is pretty much made. I would predict that it's going to be Cowboys, Eagles, or 49ers in the Super Bowl. Does anybody disagree with that?
No.
Okay. But the AFC,
wait, what'd you say?
It's going to be the 49ers, Cowboys, or Eagles in the Super Bowl. NFC. Now, go to the AFC when you're done.
Well, you already
There we go. So who all still involved? Everybody in the AFC practically. And who is the leader in the AFC that you would think that if
the Dolphins have to win tonight to stay with Baltimore. I think Baltimore's got a case.
Yeah, but you're talking about seeding. I think they're all in anyway.
Those
teams.
Yes. Those two are in.
Yes.
I don't know if Kansas City's actually in.
Okay.
Like the donkey. Look where the donkey sit. The donkey sit 7-6 as well.
And then you got
the Chargers.
You got Stroud had an injury this week.
Yes, Stroud just went out.
Okay, so if you're looking at that AFC right now, who's the team that you think? And I'm going to give you my bold prediction of who's going to slide into that Super Bowl. And it's going to be somebody that is not going to surprise you because a lot of people have picked before. But I think it's the year that way it looks for every other team right now, and all the, they've had some distractions and everything. And so, what do you think? I mean, who do you think's going to the AFC? And then you tell me who you think I think is going to the AFC.
I think the Browns are going to sneak in.
Okay.
I think the Colts might sneak in.
Oh, you're just fucking nuts with the Colts pick.
I said they might sneak.
So right now, if you were betting, you'd say the Colts were the AFC Super Bowl, or
they would be
representing
the Colts have a really good defense, and they've been winning games they're not supposed to.
I agree with that. I mean, Minshew's played pretty well as a backup. I don't think they're going to be electric enough to just.
The Jaguars are definitely not going to do it.
I'm going to pick right now.
God, are you going to pick the Jaguars?
No, I'm going to pick the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. I really think. No, I mean, think about it. No, listen. I think it lines up for the Bills. I really do. I'm going to pick the Bills in the Super Bowl. I really think that's who's going to.
You think this is their year to finally get over the hump?
I do because.
Greg says Baltimore.
I can't pick Baltimore. Something about them bothers me. They've had a lot of injuries.
I get it.
They've had a lot of injuries. Lamar is always consistently good.
They're an inconsistent team.
But they can be inconsistent at times.
Miami can't beat anybody with a winning record.
I don't like them. I don't like their defense yet. I think their offense is golden. I just don't like.
I mean, this is Vic's first year there.
I think it's going to be the Bills simply because they are to the point where they don't give a shit. And they're just going to go balls to the wall, and I think that's going to be my pick right there.
You don't want to pick the Shitty City Kitties?
No, I don't, and because
this would be the third year of your prediction.
It will go
this
right.
Would be the third year of your prediction.
You
don't think Jake Browning's going to? Yeah, this is the year of the backup quarterback.
Well, hold on.
Look at all these teams. Now,
if Jake Browning takes Cincinnati to the Super Bowl, I haven't lost that bet. I said Joe Burrow would never take the Bengals back to the Super Bowl.
But I think you also said that Sean Taylor would never win a Super Bowl.
Zach Taylor. And I can say that still, too.
I have terrible with names. All right, so we're looking at the graph. This is what it is right now. And now the Dolphins are playing tonight, and Green Bay's playing tonight.
Correct. Now, hey, give credit to Jordan Love real quick, who I argued with a Packers thought he was a bystander about Jordan Love sucking, and I said, hey, give this guy a chance. Yes. He gives shit on him, but I thought Jordan Love has, and I haven't seen his stats tonight, but I thought Jordan Love has played pretty well for the most part. And hold on, there's not a lot of talent around him either. You talk about the wide receivers there that
they're using a wide receiver as a running back.
Okay, so I mean, I think that gives Love a lot more credit. I like that kid. Could you imagine Love at a team like?
Loves him?
No, that's got some offensive power.
You mean
statistically?
LA Chargers?
Oh, that might be a good one.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Jordan.
But I'm not blaming Herbert. I'm blaming their coach, and they hadn't fired that son of a bitch yet. So I don't know if he's going to get. I don't know if he's going to get sympathy for Herbert being out. He might just last another year.
But like I said, if we look at the sweet KSC logo.
I don't believe in the Lions, though. I don't anymore.
Nobody does. Nobody does, and nobody believes in anybody from the NFC South because.
Well, I can see the Bucs sneaking up on somebody.
Carolina's in. It's a crapshoot in the South, so that team is a first round out. Lions, I would say Lions would be a first round out.
Well, who's going to play in the first round? As you look at, you're going to have a Bucs.
So
hold on,
Philly has an easier schedule coming up than Dallas.
They definitely do. They definitely do.
Philly's got 2 Giants,
and the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals.
And see, and so what I'm going to talk.
Dallas has.
Well, one I want to talk about is.
Dallas has Miami. Dallas has.
Well, hold on, that's one I want to talk about. Is next week is the Bills.
Bills
with the Cowboys.
Bills and the Cowboys.
And what I want to reaffirm right now is when those Bills beat the Cowboys, and everyone's going to go, "Oh shit, the Bills are back." I'm calling it first. I think that they're going to what? Now the Lions go to Dallas. I think Cowboys could win that game. And then the Cowboys are at the Dolphins. I think that's a winnable game for the Cowboys. It'll probably be a high-scoring game, and then they finish up with the Commanders. So that depends with their seeding if that changes, if they win or lose.
Philly's got easier.
Oh, for sure. I know they got Giants twice and the Cardinals, and I'm missing a game. Let's see. I'll figure out that third one. So, Sean, talk about
Philly?
Yeah, what was the fourth? There was a fourth one, actually.
Let me get rid of this sweet graphic that somebody made last night.
So, Seahawks was the other one. Did they play the Seahawks? No, it is the Seahawks. That's what it is. That's the other one.
Yeah,
so you got at Seahawks, Cardinals at Eagles, Giants at Eagles, Eagles at Giants. So it's 2 Giants. Yeah.
All right, now look at Detroit. Detroit's last 4 games, I believe they got 2 with the Vikings.
Well, yeah, and I think Dallas is the other one.
Oh, they got the Broncos, 2 Vikings, and Dallas. Detroit could possibly blow the North.
I don't know. I saw that Dobbs got benched.
Dobbs did get benched. Hold on,
and
let's go look at Minnesota. Let's go look at Minnesota.
And so, no, that's and I'm telling you, it's why it's why the NFL will always now. No, it's why the NFL now, even before college football, the pageantry, the stadiums, the fans. I mean, that was the blue blood, the life.
Vikings have Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions.
Not easy at all. They have the Lions twice. But I'm saying about colleges, that was the pageantry, and people sided with college as being the best football sport, but people are coming back over to the NFL because now, NFL, you can't have Mahomes go, "Hey, I really like it here. I'm going to go to the Dolphins." And that's the college problem right now is because there's you might as well sign them to contracts because they're going to leave every year.
So the thing is that we got rid of the prima donna quarterbacks. We got rid of the
No, you still have them.
No,
and Tom Brady was not. No, he was a 6th, 7th round pick, so stop.
He was a prima donna.
No, he was not a prima donna. Everyone was jealous because he was good, and he shouldn't have been. That was the jealousy.
No, everybody was pissed off because you couldn't touch his ankles without him being a bitch. How many calls did he get in his favors that shouldn't have gone in his favor?
Well, I mean, that's Mahomes right now. I mean,
how do you tackle a quarterback? Explain to me.
Flags now. It's going to be.
I touched his bottom.
But anyway, hey, as we close up right now, we're getting ready to close up.
Now, let's go look at the Bears' sweet schedule.
Oh, my God, we got more ball. Hey, I'm good with them because I picked them second.
6, 7. We could be 9 and 8.
9 and 8, yes.
We could be 9 and 8. Look at that sweet. The Browns are going to be the hardest team.
It is.
We got the Cardinals, Falcons, and Packers.
Only because of the defense.
And our defense.
And I hope you beat the Falcons.
Flemings. I think we should just lay down during the Falcons game. Let's see what you got going. Let's see what Tampa's got going.
Yes, Tampa, as Baker Mayfield makes the run.
The run of a lifetime.
Listen, $4 million this year is what he's making. The guy should make a shit ton of money next year.
Ooh.
And that's a tough schedule. But anyway,
but
I mean, you're talking about possibly
not to go to Lambeau.
But it is at Lambeau. But then you talk Jaguars. They hadn't played well.
Saints, and then so you've got two wins. All right, you got 2 wins in the back end.
So my thinking about Trevor Lawrence, I've kind of joked.
No, don't say his name. What do you call him?
Surfer Board.
There it is.
And I've joked about him because I didn't think he was anything near generational. I didn't really believe him in Clemson because I thought the Clemson defense.
Using the word generational.
Well, it's not generational. That's different. And I thought that the Clemson defense rolled those teams. I thought that's why they were so good. And who was Clemson's defensive coordinator? Remind me. Oh yes, Oklahoma's head coach. But anyway,
he didn't have to.
No, but what I'm saying is he comes back from a high ankle sprain, throws 2 or 3 interceptions this last game.
Yeah, because
and that was a winnable game.
Nobody expected him to be in that game.
But he's got one of the. I mean, they spent money on receivers. They've got Calvin Ridley. They've got Christian Kirk. They've got Zay Jones. And then they've got a pretty good tight end. They've got NTN. That's a good running back. Yeah. So the offense is there. They've hired a coach. Yes. So what's the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? Well, San Francisco, in my opinion, is going to be the 1 seed.
The problem is that they gave up. They gave up Jalen Ramsey on defense.
And the only thing that's going to help.
They don't have a second. They don't have a really good secondary.
If Philadelphia wants to get back in the Super Bowl, which I've already predicted they won't, neither one of them will be back yet, is they would have to have home field advantage in the cold in Philly with that fan base. But it looks now that the 49ers are going to be it. And it was a tough loss from the 49ers. All right, anything else? The playoffs are great. I mean, NFL right now, bowl games we'll talk a lot as we get closer about college, about the bowl games coming up, because we don't have a lot of juicy ones until next week. We'll talk about some good games.
My favorite juicy game is going to be this, besides the UCLA Boise State game, watching the coaching change that's going on there. New head coach versus
Same
defensive
coach,
coordinator.
I think that'll be fun.
No, but I'm saying
I think Boise could win that.
No defense. Jacksonville State, Louisiana. Very interesting game to me. Jacksonville State.
Is Jacksonville State? Is that
Deion's old team?
No, I don't think that's right. Isn't Jacksonville State?
The Gamecocks.
Isn't that? Why is the guy just missing? Who is this from West Virginia? And then he went to. Isn't that it? Who coached?
Oh my God! I think I just saw that Tennessee was up 10-7.
Oh my gosh! And that's my bar pick too. By God, I gotta.
Oh shit! I think that was mine.
Come on, Dolphins! No, Jacksonville State. I think that was. I think it was Jackson State, wasn't it? Jacksonville State is the guy that used to be at West Virginia, and I can't think of his name. Went to Michigan.
Rich Rodriguez.
Rich Rodriguez. There you go. That was not Deion's former team. We all get that mixed up.
Was he at Jackson State?
Jackson State, yes. It was Jackson State, not Jacksonville State.
Okay.
But yes, Rich Rod, 16-5. The guy's coming back. And the guy's a hell of a coach.
Now, this was their first year, right? This was their
his
first
second.
year in FBS.
Yes, his second.
No, I'm
year.
saying
yes.
the team's first year in FBS.
And Rich Rod's gonna get another job. It was just a bad fit at Michigan. He took the money and thought it was gonna be powerful.
Yeah, he should have.
You can't be running the option and all kinds of shit at Michigan, you know. Speaking of that, as we kind of went back to college, I want to real quick before we close, we move to my thoughts. Is no. Is
I was gonna call Craig.
What's Michigan's coach?
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Is he staying or going? You should though. Talking about a guy that is probably going, but they've got potentially that there's a contract of $10 or $11 million a year.
Him to Chicago as the head coach. Look, I didn't like him in Chicago as the quarterback.
Well, if he comes to be the head coach.
What did I tell you about your old man?
If he comes to be the head coach, Justin Fields is definitely out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But Caleb Williams don't fit either.
Well, no,
you know what I'm saying?
No, did you want to talk about the Oklahoma City project?
Yeah. Are we done with the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay.
We transitioned into finding out what that fuck Rich Rod's coaching at.
A couple things I want to, as we close up, let's talk about OU basketball real quick.
My God.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, Arkansas?
Are you kidding me? No, I mean just everything.
Pissing Pittman off. Pittman got kicked out.
Musselman.
Pittman. You're Muscle. Dude, I'm fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
I've been working my ass off.
Yes,
some of us work our asses off. Some of us don't.
So they are. I think they're up to. We moved them up to number 11.
Did they move up to 11? I haven't seen the new standings. Yes. They were 19 when they won. Apparently beating Arkansas.
Yeah, that's a power 36. I think the AP they were number 11. Yeah, they moved up to number 11. So, and I've been a guy
for at least like 2 years, 3 years now.
But I've been a guy that hasn't believed in them yet. But I've believed in Porter Moser, no doubt. He was one of the hot commodities. We got him. What OU needs to really worry about is, and no one's really saying this yet. But you talk about there's a potential about losing that guy. That is going to be the issue. That now nobody's said it yet, but this guy's turned around the OU program, whose fans are finally starting to show up, and the transfer portal has helped them. I mean, they found guys. I mean, you've got an interior presence. The McCollum kid, he is. I mean, I'm not going to call him the Naismith MVP, but I mean, he's looking it. And you talk about if they keep winning.
The OU team last year. and we lost a couple of our superstar players from that team.
Was good. We were close to the tournament, but I mean, Porter's a good coach.
Porter Mosier, this team this season has been very surprising because I expected 2 seasons before we got to where we're at now.
Yeah, correct. Next year.
We're still one of the only.
No, you're talking about next year. You thought would be much better than this year.
Yeah, next year.
Well, in basketball, it's easier with the portal for sure.
Dude, we are one of 3 undefeated teams in the Big 12. Well,
yes.
We're one of 3 undefeated teams.
I think there's 5 or 6 left in undefeated. And what's interesting?
Kansas has 1 loss. Texas has 2
What's
losses.
interesting is we play Green Bay this week and Saturday, which should be a win. And then we go to UNC next week. That's going to be a test. Number 9. We'll see how they perform. And hey, and even if they lose,
but who's above Baylor? I know Kansas.
Yeah, Baylor is undefeated.
Yes.
There was a few others.
Trying to get out of here?
No. I was having to move my headphones. But no, I didn't look up the undefeated. But there is some. All right. Anything else on? But I want to give them kudos for that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
As we get more into basketball, man, it's tough for me to get into basketball.
And our OU women's basketball ladies, what is going on with that team?
I think they're talented enough. I think they're going to be in the tournament.
Yeah, they better.
Started out strong. They've had some losses. So Shohei Ohtani, 10 years, $700 million. And I thought one of the best things about that
Somebody
I saw.
asked, I was listening to Dusty and Danny this morning.
They're
like, what do you buy with that money? You just buy a random.
He's not buying anything right now.
No, but you buy a beach house, and you go buy a mountain house, and then you just.
He's not buying anything right now because he's deferring money into the tune of $68 million a year. He's deferring it as we go out.
But it's all guaranteed, isn't it?
Oh, it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And by rules of the bargaining agreement,
see, Craig, this is where you screwed up. You should have guaranteed your contract.
Yeah, so it's 60. No, listen to this: $68 million a year. So he's getting $2 million. Yeah, he's getting $2 million. So the whole thing, he's deferring it all for the 10 years. And I give credit to the guy, and I can't remember his name. That I was reading the tweet. When he doesn't live in California, when they defer that, it's no longer taxed. Because he's not living in California.
He's gone with the Barry Bonds. Bobby Bonilla. The Bobby Bonilla.
But you think about the amount of state tax there, when he goes somewhere else, he's going to save millions. Millions of what a smart plan, whoever his business manager is, father, dad, whatever. I mean, it's huge. And hey,
this was.
Now, give the kids credit. I give the kid credit. I say kid, he's an adult, but I mean, it's stupid money. And I think it's done for baseball. And I think it's horrible, but that's a different opinion.
It's the way baseball's going.
It is, and it's always kind of been that way, though. They've never had a salary cap, so I mean, you look remember A-Rod when he signed with the Rangers. I mean, and then all of a sudden the Rangers are like, fuck, we're done with this.
No, you got to look. You got to see whenever Pujols went to the Angels, and then at the same time
that was a big money contract.
At the same time, they were signing Mike Trout.
Yeah, well, he was already there. They re-signed
him. But they were signing him to those huge contracts.
Well, big money out there. I mean, and that's
what they're spending. How many times did they make the playoffs?
None. Well, they might have made it one, maybe. Did they make one? I don't know. I was thinking recently.
But Bryce Harper leaves the Nationals and goes to Philly, and
they're a much better team.
A hugely better team.
Yes. And he took big money there too, but I think he made more money with the Nationals. I'd have to. I'm way out of baseball right now, but. Listen, as we get ready to close up,
the only thing Kenny wants to say is that we went and saw the World Series.
And we did. We did see the World Series champ, Texas Rangers.
Yeah, White Sox have been doing a lot of trades. I've seen that.
Austin Hedges for the Cleveland Indians. Yes.
Well, there's also Betancourt.
Oh, we traded him. Yeah. Oh well.
All right.
We got more pictures. All right. I want anything else.
Chicago Bulls.
Shut up.
Killing me, baby. You guys are great. Oh, NHL. Blackhawks, baby. You guys are winning, and have you seen one of the no, stop it. Have you seen the best?
The 4'5" new rookie. Is he doing anything?
He is.
Is he? What's his stats? I mean, let's be honest. The guy's little.
He's
gonna be a bust. I'm just letting you know.
No, a guy just got kicked off the team. An older guy, Perry, just got kicked off the team for sleeping with his mom.
His mom?
Yeah, Bedard's mom.
That might be a different podcast we do.
I say, but they're doing good. Let's go into. Kenny wants to talk about the garbage thunder, the Seattle Supersonics.
No.
Oklahoma City
as we close up, we're about an hour and getting close to hour 30. We're going to close up this podcast tonight. And for anybody that's listening to us from the Oklahoma City zip, or I think trash bill is what they said. If you got an Oklahoma City trash bill, you are ready to vote for tomorrow. And if you hadn't early voted, November 12th is a vote for a extension of the 1 penny sales tax from the original MAPS program that I think it was done in the mid to later 90s for a new arena. For
Has MAPS been around that long?
Yes. Yeah, that was right. I think it was 94.
Here it is.
And so you want to talk about, so we're going to talk about a $900 million arena. Now, I promise you, voters, that $900 million is going to end up to be in $1 billion, and that's okay. But what you get, and I'm going to give you a little bit of...
This is what you get.
No,
Seattle Supersonics.
no. So what you're going to get, and it's a 6-year 1 penny sales tax. Now, let's back up. 1 penny is already there. You're just extending it, so you're not paying any more taxes. So I want to talk a little bit about the naysayers about this, because you
have to do this just for the town.
So
this is why we lost our pool.
So you're gonna have naysayers that are gonna say, well, that's a penny. Now I've seen I've seen quotes as called a regressive tax for the poor.
I've seen that.
Stop.
I have seen that.
Stop. They're already paying it. A penny ain't gonna save them from poverty or a trailer park. So just stop. That's dumb.
Let's move to Chelsea.
Yeah.
We've got a lot.
And then they're only like, okay, so now they're going to talk about ownership only chipping in $50 million a year. Okay, they're chipping in $50 million out of the $900 million, which when it gets to $1 billion is going to be about 5%. So what they're doing, or maybe less, I haven't even did the math on that, but so what they're doing is, don't forget that they're still leasing from the city to pay. They're still leasing that arena. So it's not they're chipping in this money and they're like, oh well, they bought it for this and now it's worth $3 billion. It's worth $3 billion on paper, folks. This ain't liquid money. You don't think the owners are going to give $1 billion of their $3 billion worth? It's not worth that liquid. It's paper. Let's be honest. Also, the Thunder are a good team, 14-7 right now. Currently, they're playing tonight. They're going to have probably the Rookie of the Year in Chet Holmgren, and they've got probably.
Well, Shai Gilgeous.
Now hold on. No, he's going to be potentially MVP. Now, if you're in Oklahoma City, you need to remember before the Ford Center was built, what downtown was. Just like if you're in the Tulsa area, remember what downtown Tulsa was before the BOK happened. Now, what they said about the BOK was, hey, we're going to raise X amount of pennies. I don't even know if it wasn't even a penny. And everyone flipped shit because they thought, oh my God, we're going to build this. It revitalizes your downtown. It brings in events.
You got to remember, you've got people that are fighting this.
Don't fight.
No. You've got certain people that are fighting this to keep their investments.
It's not about. No, they're not.
No, the people that are fighting it are keeping their investments.
Okay, so that's
they want to keep
their investments somewhere else.
Right.
But the penny goes away. It's tough to get it back. So my other point is don't think about just the arena and the 41.
It's citywide.
Hold on, the 41 games that come to your downtown with LeBron James. You've got superstars that come into their town that people.
You had to name
hold on, these are people that are driving from Kansas. They're coming from Kansas City. They're coming from Arkansas.
Well, they're coming from Texas. They're coming from
maybe not
Mexico
Texas,
too.
but maybe.
Oh,
but
no, that area right there. You've got New Mexico. You've got Colorado. You've got.
You're proving my point.
Kansas and you've got Texas.
Is a vote against this doesn't,
Everybody.
and it's not a scare tactic. It's not like the Thunder is saying, okay, we don't get this vote, we're done. But what you're saying is as a community, as a city that's not now Louisville or weird towns in Iowa that are your population. I mean, Oklahoma City has moved into the top 20 as far as population in metro nationwide. And it's not a coincidence that the Ford Center was there when the Hornets had the catastrophe they had with the hurricane, and then they moved there. If the Ford Center wasn't there, if it was some damn ballroom, that the Hornets never would have came there.
In San Antonio hosted.
They never would have been there. So that arena there, Bill, and now you're going to get, and it's not just basketball, folks. You're talking about big concerts. You're talking about stuff that comes to Tulsa before it comes to Oklahoma City. I promise you the BOK is better rated and better known for big concerts than Oklahoma City. And that bothers them, and that's okay. And I'm not saying I want to take away from Tulsa, but you want to get your shit together, Oklahoma City, and continue to grow to be one of the mecca cities like a Indianapolis or somebody like that that's got multiple sports teams That's where you're going right now.
Chicago and New York.
Well, you're never going to get that in Oklahoma right now. But I mean, you talk
We just
about.
don't know how to dream.
But it's moving there. A vote against this is a vote backwards. It always has been. It always will be. Now hold on. Now the whole thing is you're pissed off, you voters that are talking about progressive tax and the ownership isn't given a big nut. Listen, vote yes tomorrow. It's your future. It's Oklahoma City's future. It's Oklahoma's future. You're bringing in money. And then, when I close on that, if you guys don't vote, you're fucking idiots. And then let's get gambling going. My God, let's go, Governor. You're missing the money there, too.
Everyone, please vote on sports gambling.
No, it's just backward-ass thinking is what's always kept this state behind. So keep voting yes. Tulsa done it with the BOK. You guys have done it with the MAPS program. Keep voting yes. It's the way to go. There's no doubt that it's the best decision, and it's 6 years. And if you guys spend more money, it'll pay off earlier. I mean, that's what government does. You pay and you help. So quit worrying about what the owners are putting in. You worry about what you're doing for your city.
Another goddamn touchdown for Saquon Barkley?
That's fantasy talk. That's all I've got. All right, anything else as we close up? Hey, thanks for joining us tonight.
Did anybody please leave a comment about how much you loved Kenny's political...
No, it's not political.
This is what he does all the time.
It's not political. It's fact.
No,
it is
Kenny,
fact.
Kenny, you were political.
It's fact.
You went from sports to politics.
It is, because it's helping the Thunder stay in Oklahoma City. They are now a big league team. And Oklahoma City has a big league team.
It's helping the economy.
Not only that, it keeps the Thunder there. So, anyway, I don't have anything else. And plus,
it's still helping the economy.
Well, sure, that's all it does.
It's helping the Oklahoma economy, just like sports betting would help Kenny's economy.
And the Oklahoma economy. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Appreciate everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week on Monday. And we are going to be... When is our... Is Sean... Are we doing a football game this Saturday? It is. You're off this Saturday, aren't you? Okay, so look forward to... We're going to do something fun because we tried it last year and we didn't go live, and it was a...
I recorded it and I stuck it on.
It was a shit show, though.
It was great because I had to keep pointing to the other computer and be like... Dude,
no, hold on. So what we're going to do is we're going to, just for fun, is we're going to try ourselves at doing play-by-play as a TV analyst.
I'm going to be Chris Collins.
Exactly. So we think just for fun that we can do better. So join us for, what was it, Detroit and, we forgot the game. Hold on, we'll tell you. He's going to look it up. Next Saturday's game, because as we get closer to the holidays.
Well, it's whatever one that they have.
We're going to have, yes, it's going to be we're not doing radio. That would be too tough.
No, I mean, it's whatever they put on television. I don't have.
So it is the Lions, I promise you. Because we joked about,
Scores is where I go to see.
Oh, okay. So we should have the 17th right there. It should be I can't remember. Was it the Lions and Ravens? Is that going to be it?
Here we go. Right now, NFL.now, so NFL Net.
Oh, we'll see you for the Broncos and Lions, 6:15. And was that Central? Oh, is it Central? Okay, 7:15. All right. So that'll be the night game. We'll give you some play-by-play. And it's funny because I mean, the Lions I've kind of shit on, and I really hate the Broncos. So it's going to be great. And I'll be unbiased. How about that? Is that the phrase, the unbiased?
Well, I think in the Steelers-Colts game, you'd be more unbiased.
Yeah, but it's so early, and I don't want to go.
It's 3:30.
I don't want to be home that early. We'll see at 7. We'll see you at 7:15 next week on Saturday Live.
Apparently, I'm just providing
we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun with that. We want your comments. We want to see how bad we suck, or if we're even any decent.
Oh, we're gonna suck.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. So, because I got some study to do. Sorry.
Thank you to Tyler Jones and James Pauling for following.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And any comments?
Thank you to Craig Sampson for being our biggest fan.
Yes, thank you, Craig. And Baltimore is not going to do it this year, and the Longhorns still suck. But hey, we'll talk about that as we get closer.
Quick update: it is what?
13, 14. Look at the Giants, DeVito.
The problem is they keep letting Saquon Barkley.
Sorry. Hey, the guys come off injury. It's good to
No, it's not. He's on Zach's fucking team.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week on Monday.
Titans Dolphins is still 10-10.
If you want to join us Saturday evening just to have a fun old time with calling plays and it's not going to be the Manning show. It's going to be much better. So we'll see you then.
Yeah, because we'll show you the game the game stat and us just being idiots. They're trying to do our best to not be idiots. How about that?
No, we'll be idiots.
We'll be definitely idiots.
See you next week. Thanks.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm not ready for it.
Good.